Okay, this might only be rumor mill, but sometimes, guys, rumors can be correct. With crypto exchanges, I strongly recommend only trading cryptocurrencies on there, but not holding your long-term investments in there. Given what we've seen with all the bankruptcies, such as BlockFi, oh my gosh, the FTX scandal. Now, here in 2023, people are chattering about what's going on with these two exchanges. Now, I will say the first exchange I mentioned is more rumors and we don't know for sure, and I don't want to badmouth an exchange where maybe they're doing everything right. But there are some fishy things that I'd like to point out. Now, the second is an exchange that actually has been coming in the news for bankruptcy. Now, the first exchange is based quite a lot on rumors and speculation, but I want to share it anyway, and that is MEXC Global. There have been some fishy things that have happened, and I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and I'm not trying to badmouth them. I'm just going by what research I've done via Twitter, Reddit posts, and I have spotted some odd stuff with the token. But let's start with this tweet. And this tweet is by Trendoshi, and they are verified actually, guys, on Twitter. And they've said that since a lot of people have been asking about the scam exchange MEXC, here's some more detailed info. And it's funny because I have covered MEXC on this channel. It's a huge exchange and maybe it's perfectly fine. Maybe this is just a rumor, but I'm going to share it with you guys because I feel like we should all be informed, regardless of what sponsored videos I've done or what we've all seen. We have to see what's going on. And they've said that during summer 2020, they found out that MEXC had 17 million DOS on their order books, but actually only had about half of that in their wallets. They were selling more tokens and therefore they were dumping the price. And it's actually, they've said it's an interesting scam. So Doge airdropped a new token and excluded MEXC to remedy this issue. So a few projects actually came forward and said that they experienced the same situation with MEXC. They're also saying, again, this is speculation and rumors, and it could be just hearsay. They've said that MEXC also literally stole millions in Sora that people deposited in August 2020. That's a long scam. That's like the start of the bull run. And they said that they simply froze Sora withdrawals and then dumped millions in Sora on Uniswap. So what they're doing is when people are buying new projects and new tokens that are being listed on the exchange, as you know, loads of exchanges have new projects being listed. And usually that's a great thing for a project, getting a centralized exchange listing. It generally means that that exchange has credibility. But if this has happened, then what they're trying to say is that there has been some inside work, that MEXC potentially, again, I say potentially, we don't have evidence by this, MEXC could have done everything properly, but this is what we're seeing in this tweet, is that they froze withdrawals and then the tokens they did have, they dumped before everyone else could on Uniswap. That's fishy. That's fishy. And they say that's because they didn't have any tokens left. Now, I will say this, with the blockchain, you can go back and track everything. Yes, wallets can be anonymous, but they can be traced back. And I personally think that the exchange founders and the people behind an exchange, they should be giving full transparency and giving their wallet addresses. But then I guess you never know which wallet address touched what wallet address. So again, we can't prove this. I don't know where they've found this information from. So that's why they're saying that MEXC rebranded to MEXC. And maybe there was a change in the team if this did happen, and maybe they've cleaned up their act, but this looks fishy. And there is this tweet going around with quite a few people saying, you know, shady stuff, and a lot of verified charts commenting. Krypton Mars said that, I thought it's only me that found that almost every new token which was listed on MEXC was dumped to hell. So again, we don't have the proof, but if there is an investigation that proves that, I will let you guys know what's happening on the situation. Now, again, I don't want to badmouth MEXC. Imagine if this was just, you know, people speculating, or this wasn't at all true, then I'd feel bad. And I know there have been some rumors going ahead for Gate.io and saying that they're potentially on the verge of bankruptcy, and they've actually come out and said this isn't true and that they're going to sue anyone that's going around claiming that they are. So note to you guys, I don't know if this is true, but I have to share it with you guys. Now, the second exchange that I'm a bit cautious of, and that is the crypto exchange Hotbit. And this is actually confirmed. This is on bitcoin.com. So crypto exchange Hotbit have said that they've been forced to stop operations because of deteriorating conditions. Now, what do they refer to as deteriorating conditions? They're talking about the conditions in the crypto industry. They're saying that probably the market conditions have resulted in continuous outflows of funds from centralized exchange users, including Hotbit, and deteriorating cash flow. So yeah, basically it's like a bank run. You know, when the 2008 financial crisis happened, people didn't trust the banks. They were freaking out that the banks weren't going to have enough money because, you know, when you put a deposit, banks lend that deposit out. Now there are all these rules about how you need to have certain amounts of capital, that banks need to have certain amounts of reserves and capital in the case of markets deteriorating and people getting scared and bank runs taking place. Now, the thing about crypto is governments aren't going to bail them out. Well, not really. It's like banks that were too big to fail. The entire ecosystem relied on that. Whereas with crypto, governments are quite cautious. They don't even like crypto really, or they want to really regulate and control it, which is actually kind of yes, we do need that given all the scandals that have taken place in crypto, but at the same time, it defeats the ethos of crypto being a decentralized industry. Now, this is quite sad actually, because they've literally said that the successive collapse of large centralized institutions has led the industry to gradually in two ways: either embrace the regulation or become more decentralized. And the team believe that centralized exchanges are becoming increasingly cumbersome. They're becoming complex and interconnected businesses that are difficult to comply with. And so essentially they're saying that these new regulations and these new compliance rules that are being released are not going to meet the long-term trends. Interesting. It's a bit sad, isn't it? I'm surprised they gave up, but sometimes maybe even if they wanted to hang in there, it's the fact that they don't have the funds to be able to continue operations. Remember, they make money by having people put their funds in the cryptocurrency exchange, either through trading fees or leverage fees, many different ways. That's how their business model works. So in this case, it's been probably the prolonged bear market that we've seen recently that has impacted Hotbit. Now, it's not only been the fact that the market conditions have deteriorated and compliance rules have gotten stricter and they find it difficult to meet their long-term needs, as they said, but it's also been the fact that they had an investigation in August 2022 and basically the law enforcement froze the cryptocurrency exchange's funds. So yeah, guys, it is tough times in crypto. The SEC are going after Binance and Coinbase with lawsuits. This is crazy. Binance Coinbase are some of the most well-respected exchanges out there. Coinbase being regulated and they're being investigated. And it kind of brings me to ask, and this could be controversial, but it kind of brings me to ask, is this because the government don't like crypto? Are they afraid of it? Is it because they don't want to lose that power? Because remember, governments are centralized. They put money and certain policies in place to affect either the greater good or the negative good sometimes for the rest of the country and the financial system. And crypto has scared the governments in the past. Now, no, I must say, I do believe that crypto needs to be regulated because things like the FTX scandal just was a contagion. It was catastrophic. So many people lost their livelihoods. So in that case, yes, I do think exchanges need to have certain regulations and requirements. But freezing a cryptocurrency exchange's assets could be quite detrimental given how new the industry is. I mean, I know I've been saying for a while that, you know, the industry is progressing and it's not as new as it was. It's not, but when it comes to compliance and now this entire new framework, which is a good thing, it needs to also adapt to the way the industry has evolved, and it also needs to be specific to cryptocurrencies. Sometimes I do think there's an imposition of crypto rules when perhaps they don't actually meet the nuances of crypto. Yes, I think there should be a framework, but I also think that it would be very problematic for the future of crypto if a lot of exchanges shut their operations down because they can't meet compliance requirements and they're already in a very fearful bear market. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Again, remember, I am not against MEXC. I've made a video on my channel. I thought everything was fine. This is just a rumor. It could be completely not true, but I did want to share it with you guys anyway. So remember, this is not financial advice. This is also not necessarily the be-all truth that's been reported by the news. We are looking at the speculations. We're looking at the news as well, but we're also looking at the speculations. And, well, If it does turn out true, then you heard it here. But if it didn't, then go MEXC, and I'm happy for you guys, because I don't want another cryptocurrency exchange to be a scam like FTX was, to be honest. So yeah, I don't really have any incentive in saying that, because I'm a crypto advocate, and I always have been, as you know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.